Hey, Coach, man, what time is it?
Oh, Slim, you know what time it is. 6 o'clock, straight up and down. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. We're so glad that you have joined us once more and again. It's HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with just a little twist of down-home wisdom. I am your host, John W. Montgomery II, a.k.a. John 2, the coach. And right here in good old Houston, Texas. Way up there in Dale City, Oklahoma. The man who handles production. The man behind the glass. Happy Son's Day, Slim. My baby man. Slim, what's up, player? What's up, man?
How you doing, Coach? Man? How you doing?
Oh, man. So excited for episode number 12 of season 3. And Mildred, our very special guest for this evening, is my good and dear
friend. Wait, hold on, Coach. Before we get into the special guest, Coach, before we get to the guest, congratulations to Derrick Dorsey on winning our contest on last episode. Last episode's question was, which famous HBCU icon and NFL legends voice preceded Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On"? Derrick Dorsey, you were the first person to answer your answer correctly. Congratulations, sir.
It was the Hall of Famer and HBCU icon Lem Barney, played at Jackson State, great Detroit Lion, and NFL Hall of Famer. No question about it. And Slim, the trivia question for this week. What HBCU icon and NFL Hall of Famer attended his alma mater on a music scholarship? And now on with the show. Slim, our very special guest for episode number 12 is a gentleman who I have known and respected and have gleaned from his coaching abilities for over 30 years. He is a stand-up man and one first-class human being and an excellent, extraordinary football coach. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please make welcome my show enough partner from way back in the day, Coach Ray Brown.
How you doing, Coach? How you doing, Slim? Good to be with y'all.
What's going on, Coach? How you doing, man?
Hey, enjoying life. Thank you. God bless you, gentlemen.
Man, Ray, man, thanks so much, man, for taking the time to come on and share with us at HomeSpun Sports. We go back a minute, Ray.
Oh, yeah, more than a minute. You know, that minute is a long while, but it's real cool, John. I followed you and seeing what you're doing. I think it's a real cool thing that you and your son are doing here, Slim. I like what y'all do at HomeSpun Sports. It's part of my rotation.
Oh, man, you so kind to say that, Ray, man. And I just, man, thank God for our friendship that has gone on, man, for well over 30 years, Ray. Every time I needed to know something about a pass protection, every time I needed to know something about a run blocking scheme, it's a short list of coaches that I call. But my brother, you right up there at the top.
I'm glad to be on that list, man. That's a lot of coaches, you know.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Ray, man, you all heard the old expression, black don't crack, but Ray.
19 years, Coach.
19 years?
20.
20 years.
20 on them. Yeah.
20 years in the trenches.
Yeah, I tried to make a strong pension.
You did, Coach. That you did.
I'm working on
it. Cardinals, St. Louis, Phoenix, the Redskins, the 49ers, the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Detroit Lions, and then the Skins. Yes, sir. And then back to the Redskins.
Yes.
That's a hell of a journey, Coach. That's a hell of a journey.
Yeah. Yeah,
really
I was
is.
supported, Slim. You know, I got people, good coaches, and then just opportunity. You know, you can't do anything unless you have an opportunity, and that's kind of what I took advantage of. And then I was supported. You know, my wife, my family, friends, and then I was motivated. You know, I really wanted to do it, and then I just had good desire and. You know, man, teammates, and you know, if you're not having fun, you're not going to do something like that. And I tried to have fun.
Ray, you said you were motivated. You're from Marion, Arkansas. That's Northeast Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
All right, now I've driven now from Poto, Oklahoma. You can't get from Poto, Oklahoma to get to Memphis, Tennessee, unless you get on I-40 and go east. So I've seen the exit from Marion, Arkansas, but you spitting distance from Forest City.
Yes, sir. That's a good Eastern Arkansas town also.
Okay, Forest City, home of Al Green.
Sonny Liston.
Come on now, Sonny Liston.
Carter Ray Crawford. Who else? The Hampton boys.
I hear
Harvey Hampton, Dan Hampton that played at Arkansas.
Okay, the Hamptons, the Hampton brothers. Yeah. Dan Hampton, the great Chicago Bear. No question. So, Ray, you said you were highly motivated. Tell us about your upbringing, man. I know now, man, you know, God brought you a mighty long way, because you know a long way, Ray, because you know something about picking some purple hull peas and chopping some cotton too. That was part of your development.
Well, I'm gonna stay away from that field, but I'm gonna definitely eat my share of purple hull peas. You know what I'm saying? But no, I grew up in the Delta over in Northeast Arkansas. A little small town, and started out the University of Memphis, ended up transferring to Arkansas State, where the best thing that ever happened in my life, man. I fell in love with a bunch of guys from Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Missouri, and we got a chance to play some good football for Coach Larry Lacewell.
You played for Larry Lacewell?
Yes, sir. Well, you know how that is, man. Larry Lacewell, God rest his soul. He just passed this year, but Coach Lacewell is one of those beacons in my life. If there's anything that I've done in my life, I know he had a big part of me being successful in football.
Okay, so Ray, you break into the league with the Redskins, correct?
No, I came in with St. Louis Cardinals, 1986.
That's right.
Yeah,
so Ray,
I was a 8th round pick in 1986.
8th round pick, and Ray, geez, the St. Louis Cardinals. That's before they ever went to Phoenix.
Oh yeah. I spent 2 years there, and then I played a year out here in Arizona.
Okay, all right.
And then to Washington for 7 years.
Wow. What an experience, Ray. I'm telling you, man, when I think of longevity for offensive linemen, and you right up there with Jackie Slater. Jackie played 20 years. I don't know.
Yeah, he did. Bruce Matthews. So, you know, it's been some guys that have played, that have had long careers, but yeah, I'm fortunate. You know, I finally got in the lineup and got a chance to play, and that's kind of what fulfilled my motivation.
Ray, you played in 261 games and started 204 games.
Yeah, it took me a while. I had 2 years where I was on IR but it never missed a practice in those 2 years. So I got to work in. You know, I can say I might have took more reps than anybody that ever played football.
No question about it.
You on that list, Coach?
Yeah, I took practice reps. I took defensive reps. So, you know, then I demonstrated as a coach. So I'm counting those reps also.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you. Ray, when you meet young men, especially young men that came from humble beginnings, background similar to yours. What are the words of motivation that you pour in to them to inspire them to fulfill their aspirations in the National Football League?
I'd just say, yes, you can do it. You know, you don't have to come from Mars to be a football player. You know, we come from everywhere, and that's the beauty of it. It's a game of opportunity. Whether now what the game has become worldwide, and I think it always has, but really now the participants literally come from all over the world. And you can say, if you can be one of the best to play in the world, because it's the best league in the world in regards to football, and probably one of the most outstanding sports leagues ever. But you know, to do that is an accomplishment in itself. I tell everybody, whether you played 1 year or 20 years, like myself, you've had a career. You know, it's an accomplishment, because there has not been a lot of people who played the game as players.
Okay. All right. So Ray, 20 years in the National Football League as a player, and then you were very fortunate. You got right into your life's work of coaching. How did you transition, and what made it so easy for you to transition?
No, I don't think it's easy. I took it, like my first year, I did radio and TV, stayed around the game, got asked to come back to play. I did not want to play another year of football. I made sure that I wasn't one of those guys, hey, man, hanging around in the gym trying to work out and stay out in shape. I knew I didn't want to play anymore. My wife might be a little disappointed that I didn't play that 21st year. So I took that year off radio, TV, and then I got asked to come back as a consultant with the Commanders after I retired, and then that kind of went back into radio and TV, and then boom, Sean Kugler called me and asked me to coach, and that's how I got in. Went to the Buffalo Bills for 2 years.
Now, on a personal level, I want to thank you publicly. There was a time there from like around 2007 to 2015 when faithfully every day you would send me a scripture. Every day you'd send me a scripture. Now, the reason I said 2015 was special because that was a special season for you. We talking Super Bowl 50.
Super Bowl, yeah, for sure, man.
And Ray, I never will forget this, man. You were on the jet, getting ready to go fly to play Denver in Super Bowl 50. And I'm watching it live on ESPN. They're showing the Carolina Panthers on the runway en route to Super Bowl 50. And my cell phone goes off, Slim. My cell phone goes off. And I got a text message. And it's from Ray. And he's sending me, and I know we'll forget the scripture, Ray. And the scripture was when God told Joshua, every foot of ground you step on, when you get over there.
Before time began.
Go ahead, Slim. Yeah, man.
Oh, Coach, you don't know how many times I done heard that one.
Yeah,
I done heard that one plenty of times, man. Come on now.
I like it. So, John, you know what that really is, man? That's like me being grateful to people who've motivated me, who've impacted my life. Like I got a lot of people like that, John, and I really appreciate you for that, Coach. For you know how it is, man. That journey as a football coach, and you've been in spaces that before I have. So you know I lean on you for those times, and it also gives me a perspective that, hey, I'm not the first one, and you know, don't be weary because there were other folks before you, man. And I joke with you all the time. I remember being at a University of Arkansas football game, and you were at Wichita State. Did not know it. The Wichita State Shockers were playing the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I was there visiting as a high school senior.
Right.
And I remember Willie Jeffries being a black coach.
That's right.
At Wichita State. And on that team, you had Jumpy Gathers, who I would play, eventually be a teammate of mine.
All right.
in Washington. So, we talk about those things, and what's so amazing, we're in this space now to acknowledge those coincidences. And I'm grateful to you, John, because you told me, like, we've had those real conversations, man. It's cool that we could do it in this format, and people kind of know, and they see how small this world is, and how connected we all are, and then you can really make a difference in people's lives.
Ray, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm watching you and the Carolina Panthers, and y'all are on that jet, man. And I get that text message that you said, God told Joshua, said, now, when you get on the other side of the Jordan River, don't be intimidated. I had this for you before time began. And I thought, here my buddy, Slim, here my dog, my baby. He's on his way to the Super Bowl, and this brother is texting me, and I took it to my heart to say, when you get to the Super Bowl, Ray Brown, understand.
Yeah. Hey, man, I understand.
Ray, hey, God was saying, hey, Ray Brown, look here. When you was in Marion, Arkansas, okay, Northeast Arkansas, right out there in that Delta, okay, I had Super Bowl 50 for you before time began. And man, I never will forget that, Ray. I never forget that. Ray, man, so, man, God is doing a great work in you, my brother. Tell us how you are paying it forward right now.
Right now, John, I'm coaching my son's old high school football team. Well, I'm coaching at Arcadia High School here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
My son happened to have played there before he went to Duke.
Okay.
So, for real, John, I had no idea that I would be coaching high school football. I really wouldn't. Okay. But for what the football program did for my son and the community, the Arcadia school community, and the friendships that he's established, the network, it helped him, because it was a tough move for us as a family to come out here and the coach then get fired. And, it was a family thing for me. And football for me has always been about my family. It has to be my family there and then the game. And yeah, so he finally found his footing out here, and we get fired, and it was no doubt we were not going to move and take this kid out of a space where he was comfortable. So he finished his 3 years out here, and now he's back east at Duke. But the principal called me out the blue and said, "Hey, I need your help." And it wasn't, yeah, exactly. So, it kind of pricked the heart in a way. And, for sure, John, it fulfills an itch for me because it is coaching. Yeah, it really is, man. But, the things that you concern yourself with, the things that matter, it's authentic. It's getting the athlete from game to game, making sure he's healthy, teaching him, being honest with him. So my thing here in high school football is to make the student better in the schoolhouse, because I'm over there coaching him on the grass. Because, those things that I teach him on the football field, they'll be able to show in the classroom, like not quitting, finishing, submitting your homework on time, being a good citizen, I want a guy that's going to do what the coach asks. Surely he should do what the teacher asks. So I'm not making it complicated, John, but I'm dang going to make sure that we have fun. I don't like bad football. You got to have good footwork. And we are a project under construction. We still building this thing, and I'm better from coaching them. I can't get in front of them and lie. I really have to bring it. So I'm accountable for to the program. And they really allow me to coach them. They don't have to listen. But, the fact that we have this cool partnership that we work together. I coach, they play, I demonstrate, they learn, and I also learn. So we created a real cool environment, and I'm coaching with some good people, John. Like that makes a difference.
Always, Ray. Always.
I'm coaching with some young men who have played in the league. So we have a shared experience. O.B. Schofield, Will Davis are on the defense. Phil Bates is a coordinator on offense. So we speak a common language sometimes. There's a connectivity to how we teach. I love that our expectations are high, but at the same time, we know we coaching high school football players.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ray, man, listen, man. One of my favorite Ray Brown stories, man. When we were at the Senior Bowl, and I think this is I gotta share this before we let you go. The Senior Bowl, I was 19. It's 2008. 2008. Yeah. I was in Savannah State. I went out to the Senior Bowl, and down there in the corner end zone where the offensive linemen are going against the defensive linemen, live pass pro drill, Slim. So we're down there, and I didn't even know. I ran into Ray down there, and we were down there, and the offensive lineman took his snap. He set up. He got big in the chest, and he's kicking. I'm going, close the door, keep one open. Keep the rope tight, keep the rope tight. And Ray says, Montgomery, what are you talking about? So I was so caught up in the drill, and I explained it to Ray, and he goes, man, John, he was.
What a concept.
Slim. Oh yeah, coaching tip.
This was about Slim. This was about 2 or 3 months later. That was 2008. It was 2011. I'm at Grambling, coaching the O-line for Doug Williams at Grambling. I was sitting in the computer room one day, and the phone rings, and it's Ray. And I'm going, what's up, man? What's up? You go, Ray says, John, at the Senior Bowl, 2008, you talk about keep the rope tight, close one door. Show me that one more time. Ray, I'll never forget that, man.
You sent me an email with that calf, roping that calf, man.
Backing up, keeping that rope
holding
tight.
That rope tight.
Keeping your shoulders behind your knee. But Ray, the fact that you were coaching the National Football League and I'm coaching in the SWAC and you call me for a technique. Man, I'll never forget that, bro. I never forget that.
Real talk. Who's to say where the best football coach is? Like that best football coach could be over in West Texas in the smallest town in Texas, coaching really good football.
You're right.
So what I was doing there, John, I was just looking for information and then just the freshness of that, like trying to get the point across, get the young man to understand. And it's just a great coaching point. So I'm paying homage to it, man. There's not a whole lot of original thought in football. We just piggybacking off of a lot of people who have made this game great. And there are some people who need to be acknowledged and need to have opportunities. Like I saw your interview with Chinnis, man. Like I met Chinnis at the Super Bowl. That guy should be on staffs. He should have those opportunities. He should be in offensive line rooms at any university in the country.
Or the NFL.
Or the NFL. Or any football building. So, those are the things that keep me teed up and inspired and wanting to go and wanting to do and wanting to plug into the next guy because that's what it's about, man. Because at the end of the day, my ice is cold too. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Yes, sir. My ice is cold.
And you gonna keep it cold. Ray, we love you, man.
Love you back.
Keep making it do, bro. I know you will.
Thanks,
you will.
Thanks, Slim. Thanks, Coach.
Take care, brother. Take care, Ray. Thank you, man.
Care.
Love you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you something, bro.
I'm never gonna forget that time he came up to Texas Southern to when you was coaching there, and I got to meet him. What I should have asked him was his weight loss trick, because I mean we done both slimmed down since then, Coach.
That's right, Slim. The Super Bowl when the Patriots and Tom Brady brought them back against Atlanta when the Super Bowl was at NRG and all the dignitaries flying in. Ray came in and met you at the locker room, you and I. And what I remember that, Slim, if you don't remember, he laid hands on you, brother, and prayed over you like Paul and Silas, brother. Yep. He sure enough did. What a fan, what a guy. Yeah, man. No question.
So look, Coach, in the world of basketball, in the NBA, the Celtics, they done suspended their head basketball coach, Ime Udoka. Now, the story goes that he was having consensual sex with a staff worker on the Celtics. A big no-no. As a matter of fact, in most contracts nowadays, it says no fraternization with coworkers you work with. But they suspended him for the 2023 basketball season. What's your take on that?
Well, you suspend a man and retained him. That's my point. Every organization is in the bylaws. No fraternization in the organization. The old school rule is you don't poo-poo where you eat. So, I get it. He broke the rule, consensual, but he broke the rule. My point is, why reveal all of that and retain him? Hey, listen, the head coach of the Boston Celtics was fired. He took them to the finals in the NBA, but he just got fired. Let the press, let the sports media do a little digging, find out what happened.
Do what they do.
But no, you didn't do that. You told the man's business and kept it.
Yeah, aired it out, Coach.
Hold up, Sam. Which tells me that your sole purpose was to discredit the man.
Sam Cooke, Martin Luther King, Kyler Murray, recently.
Hold up.
All these brothers.
Deshaun Watson. Listen. Whatever Deshaun Watson was doing, if it was true, the Houston Texans knew it. And the only reason that it ever got revealed, whatever it was, if it was true, is because Deshaun Watson said, I don't want to play for these sorry Houston Texans no more.
No more. Mm-mm.
So hold up. And this has historically been a pattern. When a black man says, I'm going to control my own destiny, automatically steps are taken to discredit him. This is a historical pattern. There's no question. Hey, Muhammad Ali said,
go shoot my brother or some poor hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigga.
They took 3 years of his title. If you going to reveal all of that, then fire him. But don't keep him around and tell his business.
No, don't do that, Coach.
No,
don't do that. In baseball, Aaron Judge finally, as of a couple hours ago, he finally got Roger Maris' record 61.
He got 61.
He tied it, Coach. It took 7 games and an 8-day drought, but he finally got it.
I'm glad he did, man. And my hat's off to you, Aaron Judge. The Yankees have clinched the East in the American League. Hopefully it'll be the Yankees and the Astros and play it to see who in the ALS to see who goes to the World Series. No question about it.
Hopefully, Coach, but it's looking like that dirty rivalry, the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Could be.
Starting to look like that.
Now, the Astros going to have something to say about that. But I'm happy that Aaron, and he's streaky with that bat. Now, he may hit 5 or 6 more before the season's over. After he got that 61 off his back.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me, Slim, to pick him.
Pick him, Slim. Pick him, Slim.
All right, Coach. HBCU. The game of undefeateds. Somebody's O got to go. Benedict College, 4-0. Fort Valley State, 4-0. It's in Valley, Coach. What's your take?
No, what's your take? Who you got first?
We had Chennis Berry on the show, Coach. I'm always riding for Benedict. You coached the Benedict. We lived in Columbia, South Carolina, right across the street from the stadium. I'm gonna ride with BC.
I'm riding with Chennis. I'm hoping that Chennis win. But Slim, Fort Valley got that boy, Emmanuel Wilson. Slim, 6'1", 220 pounds. He can outrun a Yoni Go, and he ain't nothing but the truth. Slim, he put 283 on Reggie Ruffin and them Golden Tigers from Tuskegee in that Airman's Classic over there in Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, the first game of the season. If Chennis Berry got to go to Fort Valley. If he gonna win, he better sure enough contain that boy Emmanuel Wilson. No question.
Who you got?
I'm going for Chennis. I'm pulling for Chennis.
All right. Bethune-Cookman at Alabama A&M, Coach. Terry Sims, big show over Grambling, Coach. That 36-19, that was a big victory. Cornell Maynard still 0-4. I look for them to be 0-5.
I think you're spot on correct. Alabama A&M got issues, and that's a shame and disgrace, all those facilities over there. But that boy Sims, Terry Sims got a win over Grambling, okay? And I look for him to come dead up in Louis Cruz Stadium and send Cornell Maynard headlong into 0-5. So I'm like you, Slim. I got Bethune-Cookman.
Alabama State, Eddie Robinson is going to Texas Southern, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coming to Texas Southern.
I'm gonna go for my boy.
I knew you would. Alabama State straight off a thumping. Prairie View spanked that behind 25-15, and Prairie View coming off a loss. They played them road runners from UTSA, but I look for Bubba McDowell to rebound, and I think that they come away with a victory against Alabama State.
Texas Southern coming off that UTSA loss, Coach. PV and Grambling. This is the Cotton Bowl State Fair Classic, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Who you got? Hold on, Coach. Hold on. Now the interesting fact about this game is this. What was this? This National Negro Day, Coach? This is
it's at the Texas State Fair, the first Saturday in October, and there's a great tradition with that game that links itself to our family, Mildred. I played in that game. In fact,
played in that game.
In fact, Slim, Doug Williams would never admit it, but I sacked Doug Williams in the Cotton Bowl Classic. Grambling played Prairie View, I think it was 1974, my last year at Prairie View. Doug would never admit it, but yeah, I did sack Doug Williams. I played against Doug, Sammy White, all those guys. So we go back. But it goes back even further than that, Slim, because the first Saturday in October was traditionally the only day Black people could attend the Texas State Fair. Mm-hmm. So the Cotton Bowl is on the grounds of the Texas State Fair. Now, your grandfather said till the day he died, Papa and Mama never had to worry, nor my coaches never had to worry about me having a great week of practice and preparation, because I knew my mama and daddy were coming to see their son play when we played Wiley College in the Cotton Bowl at the Texas State Fair. And your grandpa was first team All-American, 1939 Kansas City Cardinals, Chicago Defender, and the Pittsburgh Courier. And that was the only time. I'm just saying, we're talking 1938 and 1939. And your grandfather said to the day he died, that was the day Black people could go to the Texas State Fair. You took in the fair, then you went in the Cotton Bowl, and you watched Prairie View play Wiley College.
Because the following week was this OU game, was the Red River Robbery. And if you look like me and Q, Coach, that was the day you was not supposed to be at the fair.
Partner, let me tell you something. What your grandfather and my dad said to the day he died. If you were Black, you better not be caught on the Texas State Fairgrounds any other time except the first Saturday in October. But in this game, Slim, I tell you what, man, I believe that Bubba McDowell got them Prairie View Panthers rolling. Grambling ain't very good. And I look for Prairie View to hold serve. They're the home team. And I look for Prairie View to whip Grambling. I should do.
Now that you done had the burrito, now get the hot sauce now.
Put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
Okay, we got hot sauce.
Get the hot sauce. In the NFL, Coach, the Bengals are in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa has looked very good in the beginning of the season. Joe Burrow has not. But he's questionable, though, Coach. Tua's questionable.
Well, Tua's questionable. But Joe Burrow, they got to fix that offensive line in Cincinnati. Slim, that's a Thursday night game. That's tomorrow night. Las Vegas likes Cincinnati. Joe,
this will be an excellent comeback game, Coach.
And Icky gonna be on the sideline doing the shuffle.
Oh,
and I'm going for the Bengals. Who you got?
I got Cincinnati too, Coach.
Okay.
So Buffalo at the Ravens, Coach.
Buffalo at the Ravens. I ain't going against John Harbaugh.
Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. That's
the two dynamic quarterbacks. Hey, let me tell you something, though, partner. It's a chink in Buffalo's armor. That's that secondary. They're beat up and banged up in the secondary. Lamar Jackson. People told me he can't throw. Well, he leading the league in touchdown passes. He got 10 touchdown passes in 3 games, and they need to hurry up and get that man paid because it's only going to go up. And what we need to be doing collectively is covering Lamar Jackson in the blood of Jesus. And I'm serious when I say this. We need to pray that boy stay healthy, that he stays on track and leads them to the Super Bowl and wins, because when he does, he gonna break the bank and make that guaranteed money that Deshaun Watson got look like chump change, because it's only gonna go up. When I got Baltimore, no question. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Kansas City and Tampa Bay, Coach. We certainly do. Oh, that reminds me. Hey, keep everybody in the Gulf Coast prayed up, Coach. While we talking about prayer, Hurricane Ian is not playing. Yeah. They evacuated Tampa. The Buccaneers got up out of their facility.
Absolutely.
It was that bad.
Absolutely. But Slim, and speaking of a storm, Slim, did you see that storm going on that sideline between Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes?
The final score there. Game still in commercial break, the live games. Let's go back to this moment. Right before Mahomes thought they could have gotten into field goal range, I believe was the case. Bieniemy trying to calm him down. The cameras separate them. You'll see Big Red come in and say, okay, let's go in the locker room.
They was arguing over a play, Coach. I wonder what had happened had Patrick Mahomes had his calling. If he did what he wanted to do, they might have won the game.
Man, well, they didn't, and which makes me wonder, because you can't beat the lowly Indianapolis Colts. You got some issues. But Slim, I'm gonna tell you something, my brother. Todd Bowles, they get Julio Jones back. They get Chris Godwin back. Hopefully, they'll have that left tackle Donovan Smith back. Slim, I like Tampa Bay. Who you like?
I like Tampa Bay too, Coach.
Tabo.
All right, so Coach, in college football, Scott Frost gone. Herm Edwards gone. But the latest news on Herm Edwards is his own staff stabbed him in the back.
Smiling faces tell lies, and I got through.
Man, Slim, nothing short of Julius Caesar walking through the courtyard days before, and the town crier going,
"Old man, you said some ill would befall Caesar on the Ides of March. Well, nothing has happened yet, though the Ides have come."
They have come, but they've not yet gone.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Slim, I can't believe that.
Ed too, Brute.
I cannot believe that. Hey, but listen, Slim, hold up. Let me tell you something. The group Undisputed Truth put it best. Smiling faces
show no traces
of the evil that lurks within.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Slim.
But yeah, Coach. And then he gonna just dip off to the Raiders in the off season, leave.
Yeah. Man, smiling faces, Slim.
Georgia Tech is open, Coach.
Yeah.
Jeff Collins Gone. Fired for losing. 25-38 was his overall record when he was at Tech. Who gets that job? Who gets that job?
Well, Slim, they talking about a bunch of people. Dion is at the head of the list. I don't know about that one, Slim. Dion would be a good fit, and here's why. Who takes that job at Georgia Tech and is successful, better understand. It's high-profile academics. Let's keep it real. You ain't going to get Adrian Peterson. You ain't going to get Emmitt Smith. You ain't going to get Billy Sims.
You're not going to get Georgia talent at Georgia Tech.
Thank you. You ain't getting Herschel Walker at Georgia Tech because the academic standards won't let you get that kind of African-American talent. Okay? Hey, Slim, you ain't getting Randy Moss. You ain't getting Michael Irvin at wide receiver at no Georgia Tech. But now, hold up. Deion Sanders would. If Deion Sanders were to take that job, Georgia Tech will be able to win without being a system school. Now, here's a fact. People lie. Numbers don't. From 1997 to 2014, Georgia Tech went to a bowl game consecutively. From 1997 to 2014, Paul Johnson took Georgia Tech to the Orange Bowl. Lost, but he took them to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah,
but he took them to the Orange Bowl.
They lost to Kirk Ferentz in Iowa. Yeah.
Listen, Bobby Ross won the national championship at Georgia Tech. You can win at Georgia Tech, but I don't know if I mess with it. Slim, I don't know if I mess with it. What you say? What you think?
I said it on the show before, Coach. If I was primetime, if I was Deion Sanders, I don't care if Auburn called me, because Auburn's calling. I don't care if Georgia Tech called me. I'm not moving from Jackson until Florida State calls me.
Okay. Slim, I'll tell you something. I had a long conversation just last night with a former SEC head football coach. And he told me that Auburn is going to come open. Okay? They would have fired that Brian Harbison guy, head coach at Auburn. He'd have got fired Sunday had he lost to Missouri. He almost did, and they was gonna whack. But it's coming. He ain't gonna make it. The guy at Auburn ain't gonna make it. So, and in Nebraska, we talked about it last week. I sure in hell wouldn't mess with no Nebraska if I was Deion Sanders.
Nope.
Arizona State, hell no, I wouldn't mess with that. And no. And now Georgia Tech is open, and for the reasons that we discussed before, I wouldn't mess with that one either. And Auburn will come open. Either one of them four. If you're Deion Sanders, what do you say? Do you take either one of them?
No, Coach. I stay at Jackson State, where I'm the man, where I'm the king. I'm the king of the world. I'm not leaving until Florida State calls me.
Until Florida State calls.
Until Florida State calls.
Okay.
So, in other college football news, because we got some big games we got to discuss.
All right, okay.
I'll break down some games. Number 17, Texas A&M is going to unranked Mississippi State. The point spread on this one, Coach, says A&M is going to win by at least 4 points. What's your take?
A&M at Mississippi State. I am taking Mike Leach and them Bulldogs. They going down to Dewey's, have them a double meat hamburger, and say, come on up here in the dog pound in good old Starkville, Mississippi, and they going to take down Jimbo Fisher in the Aggies.
Yep.
I like that 4 points.
Cool.
I got Bulldogs in them 4 points.
I got State too. I got Mississippi State too, Coach. I got Mississippi State too. Number 2, Alabama is on the road at Arkansas with your boy Sam Pittman. Vegas says that Alabama is 17 points better than Arkansas at Fayetteville. I don't think that's right, Coach.
Well, hold
Especially
up.
not by the way Alabama played Texas.
Okay, so you taking the pig suey at home in 17?
I wouldn't go that far now.
Well, who wins the game? Well,
Alabama wins the game. Alabama wins the game, but it's not by 17 points.
Well, you done changed horses because our meeting, you said that you was going to the barbershop and you was wanting to take Alabama and lay that 17 and go to Fayetteville and win.
That's what I'm saying.
All right then.
Alabama's going to beat them by more than 17 points.
Okay, well, all right then. You all faded up and looking all good, and your hair do. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy your next 2 haircuts if Alabama can go to Fayetteville and whip Sam Pittman, because Sam Pittman gonna control that clock with that running game. They got a quarterback that can play, and they mad as a wet hen about how they lost that game. That dead kicker hit the goal post or they to beat Texas A&M. But that's all right. That's all right. But I'm gonna take the Razorbacks. I'm gonna take them Razorbacks and 17 points. And if I am wrong, I'm gonna give you your next 2 haircuts.
If I'm wrong, Coach, I'll buy you a burger.
No, you're gonna do better than that, but we'll talk about it.
Right.
What's the next?
NC State, number 10 NC State at number 5 Clemson. They in Death Valley. Vegas says Vegas says NC State by 6.5 points.
Vegas got NC State catching 6.5, meaning that Coach Doran, Dave Doran, I think is the guy's name, gonna go up in Dabo Swinney's house, Death Valley, and them Clemson Tigers gonna rub the rock and run down the hill, and they gonna not cover a 6.5 point spread.
Nope, that's not happening. Clemson's gonna win the game.
I like Clemson. I like Dabo Swinney to cover 6.5 and hold home court and send them back home. Yeah, absolutely. NC State ranked number 10 going to this game. Clemson ranked number 5, and they gonna beat NC State at home by more than 6. They gonna cover 6.5. No question.
It's a pleasure being in the studio with you again, Coach.
Had a ball, dog. Had a ball. Always, man. Always.
Tell them my love, all right?
I'll do just that. Give my best to last one of them up in good old Dale City, Oklahoma. No question. And finally, Isaiah 40:31. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not get weary. They shall walk and not faint. I love doing this show. Me and Slim just chopped it up about Deion and what he's going to do. I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. Well, I'm going to tell you what he should do. He should wait. And here's why. Wait, Deion Sanders, and do what has never been done in the history of college football. And do it at that HBCU, Jackson State University, right where you are. Wait, Deion Sanders, because what you're doing is putting you right in line to be synonymous with the great Eddie Robinson. Wait, Deion Sanders, because in 2025, the University of Oklahoma, who can't beat Kansas State and hadn't beat Kansas State in 3 of the last 4 meetings. Wait, Deion Sanders, because at the University of Texas right now, they can't beat Texas Tech. And when Oklahoma and Texas go to Africa, homeboy, they gonna need some true leadership. So wait, Deion Sanders, wait. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
Boy, I believe Fred Hammond said it best, Coach. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. Yes, they shall run and not get weary. They shall walk and never faint.
That's right. Right. That
wait on it, Deion. Look, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with a twist of down home wisdom. Coach Ray Brown, thank you so much for being a part of our show today, man. So you made episode 12 just awesome, and we certainly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure not only to catch this episode on YouTube, but on iHeartRadio and Spotify for your listening and your viewing pleasure.
Absolutely.
We had a ball, an absolute pleasure recording this episode. Y'all make sure y'all hit the comments, y'all hit the like button, and stay subscribed. Make sure you answer that trivia question. Make sure you answer the trivia question. Make sure you answer that trivia. Stay subscribed to the channel. Coach, pray for Coolio. He passed away today. He passed away today. You gangsters paradise. 59 years old, man.
Wow. Rest in paradise. Rest in paradise.
What's going on about it?
Hey, my brother. What? He said. Bang. Hey. All right, dude.